I am super nervous right now, but I bought a studio to upgrade my little podcast talks or whatever I'm doing. The first video that I want to talk about in my amazing new background is working on yourself is not immediate. It is a process. It has to be a process. When you are born, you are not born being your best self, the person that you're going to become. And I think that shows that when you're living life, you're born to figure things out. You're made to figure things out for yourself and do things and experience things and really try to understand your goals and yourself and learn yourself and have different experiences. I think that really shows it. Just like how I'm saying this is a process and not an immediate thing, I feel like this doesn't only just apply to us as humans, but everything else around us, the earth, nature, people, ideas. Ideas take a long time. Everything grows. Everything is not immediately made and it's just like what it's supposed to be in the end. It is a process. When I was writing this journal entry, I was inspired to title it the way I did because I was thinking about how, as a little girl, I kind of slowly did love myself in some way. When I was really young, I didn't. And the specific timeline I'm looking at, I'm saying that I loved myself. I'm saying it because I loved going out alone. And even that very specific moment helped me, as part of my steps into becoming where I am now. But the thing is, if I took it out, if I didn't act like that, if I didn't have time alone, I don't think that I would be and like being alone right now. I've already experienced being alone, so I know what it is like and I enjoy it. And if I found things before to like, I can always find more things to like in the future. Or just because I liked alone time back then, maybe it wasn't I love myself, it was more of like I'm working towards myself. And now it's of it's like I've learned so much that I do love myself now, and that moment is what helped me to get to where I am now. It was a process. It was the steps that I had to take. And I really think that having negative emotions and being depressed and being happy and being excited, I feel like all the bad and the good are part of the process and what are supposed to happen to like pretty much everybody. You're not born and you know everything. You don't know your boundaries. You don't know what you truly love. You don't know your goals. You don't know people. You don't know how people can possibly be. You don't know that stuff. You are meant to learn it. You are meant to figure it out on yourself. The reason I am who I am today and I've pushed through things, I feel like is a mixture of a whole bunch of other things that happened in my life. Once I moved from Germany to New Mexico, I didn't work for a while, but the thing is, when I was in Germany, I was constantly working. I took a year off of working and then I worked and I was like, no, I'm not satisfied with this. Like, I'm making terrible money at a terrible job. I have to do something more. That's when I started getting into baking. And I remember trying to even just push through figuring it out because this is actually a thought I had. I wanted to sell desserts in school and whatever, but I didn't. And sometimes I used to look back and be like, why what would have my life looked like if I had started earlier? But the thing is, everything comes with its reasons. Everything comes with a purpose. The reason why I probably didn't do it immediate is because I was in the right place to do it. And then after a few months, I was ready ish. I was more ready. I feel like being ready is preparing yourself. If you just go for it, then and decide you're ready, then you're ready. If you just go for it. Something that has been stuck in my mind is like putting it as a metaphor. There's two different journal entries that I have something along the lines of this. Just like when you plant a flower or a vegetable or a fruit, it's going to take time to grow into what it fully needs to become. And that process is still beautiful. Sometimes when you grow vegetables, it is a flower. It turns into a flower and then it grows into something else. When caterpillars turn into cocoons and then turn into butterflies. Like, I love caterpillars and I love butterflies. Like, there's still good to it, you know? There's still good in the process. There's still beauty in the process. There's still so much to it, you know? Like, I feel like it's so rare to see caterpillars nowadays and butterflies. So, like, I don't know, that's another thing to my mind. Your life will come with moments of hardships. Thing is, that is part of the journey, that is part of the experience of living. That's just part of everything. I think that you can really put that to anything. Like, anything in life is going to have hardships. That business is bound to have hardships. It's like a for sure thing. It's going to have hardships. It's going to have hardships. There's going to be problems. There's going to be hardships in the universe, with nature. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, and with how people are, it's bound to happen. It's just, in those situations, it really matters what other people do to fix it, you know, or help it. I'll go back to this again, talking about we weren't born knowing everything. I will say, if we were born to be born as our best self, or our most intelligent or knowledgeable self, we would have already been born like that. There's no one that come on. There's no one that comes straight out of the womb and is like, knows everything with my camera. Yeah, but nobody is born knowing everything. If we were made to be born knowing everything, like, it would be known that we were born to be doing everything, knowing everything. Just, it would already be in our minds. And kind of like, would there really be a point in some people's brain to think about it that way? Like, okay, what is going on with my camera? There's like a certain quote. There's a certain quote that I'm thinking about currently. Something along the lines of, like, a blank wall is ready to be filled. And you could also say something like that towards a blank canvas. Really, you gotta change your mindset on certain things. Like, you were born unknowing because you were meant to fill your brain and your life with your own thoughts and your own dreams and your own imaginations. You're born for that. Everybody is. Everybody's gonna be different. Everybody's gonna have different views and opinions, and everybody is born to be different. You were born as a blank person, as a blank slate, to be a different person. There. You were literally born to be different. But the thing is, you're never going to be different if you just leave yourself in a stagnant place. It doesn't help your future, and you were not born to be stagnant. I do not think that people are born to be stagnant. I think people are born to fill their mind, their brain with thoughts and imaginations and dreams and goals and ambitions, and really dig deep into your brain and your thoughts, because that's the only thing that's going to set you apart. That's the only thing that's going to make you different. Learning and growing in the process of coming up with your own thoughts and ideas is beautiful. It's human. It's part of being human, and I think that is beautiful. That's what being a human is just how amazing we can be if we actually, like, put the effort into ourselves. And we work on wanting to become our best self, because that's the process. That's like what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to grow. We're supposed to learn. We are supposed to dig deep inside ourselves. And if you don't, you are gonna live life like you're not even gonna feel like you have anywhere to go. You're not even on the line of trying to make any progress. You're not trying to proceed. You're not even trying to achieve anything. But really, like, humans are blank for a reason. You're supposed to learn what you like here. There's so much beauty, and there's so much to love. There's so much to be happy for, and there's a lot of bad going on, but you definitely have to look at it in a different way.